So we're going to talk about Brand Center today. And, logos visually communicate an organization's brand. It's how others think about the organization, not how the organization sees itself. It's a commitment to offering unique value and experiences. As a Rotary member, you are an ambassador for our brand. When a club logo isn't used properly, it can create confusion and mistrust impacts the Rotary brand. So let's talk about the Rotary brand for just a minute. The first one is the master brand signature. This is the official logo of Rotary International. It combines the wheel with the word Rotary to the left for visibility and recognition. The master brand signature cannot be altered in any way. Okay. And so the second one is the simplified master brand. The master brand signature simplified is a less detailed version of Rotary's logo. The wheel is simpler so it can remain clear and recognizable at smaller sizes. And then the third one is our mark of excellence, which is most known. The mark of excellence is a secondary logo. It is encouraged to use it along with the master brand signature, not by itself. There is no simplified version of the mark of excellence. When a club alters the Rotary logo, like obscuring it in any way, that means covering any part of the wheel, or even changing the fonts, it weakens our global brand. And that is actually from Brand Center. It is written in Brand Center. Inconsistent branding sends mixed messages of who we are. It's every member's responsibility to strengthen Rotary's brand. Your club can help by using our logos correctly and consistently. When people see our logos, they should immediately recognize them as Rotaries and as symbols of an organization that is taking action to make the world a better place. And so later I'll be talking about the voice and visual guidelines, and it covers how to use Rotary's brand from logos and images to messaging and the voice we use in written documentations. You will see this in a bit, but let me go ahead and go to the next slide. So luckily, you can customize your club logo in Brand Center, and I will show you in Brand Center where to customize your club's logo. A Rotary club signature has the club's name in a particular font and layout along with Rotary's master brand signature. Your club's name should appear as it does on your charter. You may also use the name your club is known by in your community. Because the word Rotary is already in the logo, you don't need to repeat it. For example, the Rotary Club of Evanston, Illinois, USA would add only Club of Evanston below the master brand signature. The club name always appears to the left with Rotary. The end of it should line up on the right with the Y in Rotary. The position of the words in the wheel and their size are the same for every club. You can use either the master brand signature or the master brand signature simplified in your logo. We recommend using the simplified version if the logo will be similar or smaller, than 1.25 centimeters, or will be embroidered. Here are a few examples. Number one, the club signature uses the club name correctly below the Rotary trademark. Number two, a district signature uses a similar format. And number three, here a club signature is used on a water station. The signature could also be used in brochures, social media posts, or electronic communications to officers and members. Did you know you could find the Rotary International themes in Brand Center as well? This will help you customize for the Rotary year, which, as you know, begins July 1st and ends the following year on June 30th. Incoming Rotary International President Shekhar Mehta urged members to become more involved in service projects, saying that caring for and serving others is the best way to live because it changes not only other people's lives, but also our own. So we'll also be talking about licensed good and creating licensed goods. Always work with a licensed vendor when you purchase goods that have Rotary logos, including club signatures. Licensed vendors comply with our branding guidelines and have been given permission to use Rotary's trademarks. And that's super important, and I'll show you later where to find that. Okay. If you can't use a licensed vendor, you can use another vendor if it applies for the one-time permission to use Rotary logos. Okay, yay, tutorial time. So I'm going to jump to another screen and we're going to go right into Brand Center. So really, to start off, and I was talking, Leslie and I were talking about this earlier, you have to have a login for myrotary.org. And on myrotary.org, it's just as simple as filling out just your first and last name and an email address, and then you create a password. My suggestion is I use the same password as I use for DACDB. That way it stays within the Rotary elements. Okay. So what we're going to do is when you sign into myrotary.org, you're going to go to For Members. And this is where you're going to find a wealth of information. And where you would find Brand Center is under Member Center.
Amber, there's a question in the chat if you could make your screen bigger, larger. Also, if you put it in speaker view, that might help Cian to put it in speaker view, and you might be able to see the screen bigger as well too.
Let me see. Let me try something else. Is that any better?
And Kathy, that was a great suggestion for everybody on the call. Make sure you have your view in speaker view. So up in the top right corner, if you hit view, just make sure that you're in speaker view instead of the gallery. Otherwise, you won't see the full screen, which it should automatically go to that, but it may not.
Okay, that's better. Thank you, Amber.
Okay, good. Thanks for letting me know, Kathy. So when you go into Brand Center, you have, like I said, a wealth of information. I'm only going to go through a few things, but it is pretty clear what you can find. And the tabs are very easy to find. And I don't know who's been working on myrotary.org, but from the time that I have started in Rotary, it has evolved to be simpler and easier access. And I love it. So let's begin with the Guidelines tab. And at first, I know this is overwhelming. I don't know why it's in Chinese. I can't get it off of there, but that's okay. And there, like I said, there's a wealth of information on here. And anything that you have a question on, especially as a public image chair, you will be able to find it here, especially the guidelines. For instance, the visual or voice and visual guidelines. And these covers how to use Rotary's brand from logos and images to messaging and the voice we use in written documentation. You will find information about colors, fonts, and how to use our logos, Rotary logo signatures, as I have shown to you earlier, and contact information for anything you are stumped on when it comes to vendors and licensing. Other items are the Rotary Public Relations Guide, and I'll bring that up just so you can see what it looks like. Like I said, as you can see, there is a lot on here. And so with the Rotary Public Relations Guide, it includes information for those just getting started as public image relations chairs that can assist with media, crisis, and helpful resources such as new releases, examples being outstanding members, fundraising events, and service projects, and even letters to the editor for news and print. Okay. And the next one I wanted to point out is the quick start guide for club media pages. And of course, your media pages are even your websites, your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Now we have TikTok, YouTube. It is all covered in this guide. So with that, it is a wealth of information. Getting started with social media, choosing the right platform, because sometimes, you know, your club might need just more of a website and not a Facebook page, or they might need a Facebook page and not a website. It really depends on your club. It also is why your audience matters, which is huge, creating your content plan, creating your profile, and more resources. So those are the first three I wanted to point out to you. Now, do you necessarily have to hit the back button and go from the very beginning? No, because all your tabs are up here. So the next one we're going to do is the logos tab. Yay! See, there's your logos. There is no reason why you would not be able to find any type of Rotary logo. This is the right place to get any and all Rotary logos, and they are easy to download. You can even create your club logo here and so much more. So let's create a club logo. You have different layouts, but this is what you see a lot. And this is also what, if you're doing any type of print items or embroidery, this is what you would use. So it is very easy to follow, and you can switch up a couple of things, but this is where you would put your club name. And it also kind of lays out like how you should say it. You also can change from the below the logo or even above logo. I like it below. You can do full color, blue, and black. I like full color. You also can do, this is where the simplify comes in. You can also have a simplified logo. So if you notice, it took out the Rotary International. And then it also has it available if you have a Rotaract or Interact club that you want to create for. So pretty easy, right? And then when after you create it and you save it, they will give you instructions on how to download. I would suggest downloading into a PNG file. That is better for social media, word processing, and other items. All right. So let's go back to logos. And like I said earlier, there are your theme logos, which gives you all the guidelines and basis of what you can use, and you can download all the materials. Pretty easy. And also we have the foundation logos, which are very simple, 3 simple logos to use with all your Rotary Foundation materials, specifically the In Polio Now logo. And if you notice, not both of them has the master brand. You can use it without the master brand. And let's see if I missed anything else. Yep, and I was gonna go into Rotary logos. I have to say that I love the new areas of focus logo. That is gorgeous. But it's Rotary in various recommended and approved colors, as well as transparent and reversed logos. We, again, highly recommend you download the PNG file. You will notice here, and I'll pull one up for you. Well, there it goes. You will notice here that it is better for word processing, presentations, web, and digital, like I said earlier. Okay, so your materials. Again, if you roll over the tab, it'll give you your options. You don't really have to click materials, but even when you click materials, it gives you more options. Another resource where you can create your own for any event. So your own for club, or even if you don't want to put your club name on it, service projects, presentations, or even for a meeting. If you are ever looking for toolkits to help you out, then take a moment, and I would, if I were you, take a moment to search through the toolkits tab. Here it'll give you options of really reading more into it and then finding out what you can and cannot do and helpful advice. And the ads, well, we'll go over the ads, but anyway, almost kind of like what I showed you with your club logos, you can go in here and customize as well. Take me back to club logos. And if you notice, some of these folks have used this year on Zoom with their background banners. So I'm going to go to ads now. This is helpful, especially if you're creating a social media page with the online, because you, again, can customize any of these items for your club, and you can even insert your own picture. And that's another part of public image, is take all the pictures, as many as you can. So you might have a picture later on to represent on your website or on your Facebook page or Instagram post or anything, or any social media platform. All right. So the images and video, if you don't happen to remember to take pictures and you're doing some type of promotional flyer or promotional content and you need images, there's so many on here and they're really good. We have used them also in District 7570. And then videos, if you're finding something that you want to message to, especially new members, here the videos are a great option. You can either email them the videos or make it part of your presentation as well. So now I'm going to go back to the My Rotary page and show you how you can look up items such as vendor and license items. So we're just going to go to the first page again, actually to My Rotary, sorry. The search button here will allow you to search the site, even find a member or find a club. So again, if there are any AGs on the phone, and or if you know somebody that's searching for a club in your area, this is a great resource. So I'm just going to go to search the site, and funny thing, when I click on here, you can already tell that I have searched for this quite a bit. And it gives you what you need. And your licensing agreements will be here. And it'll tell you what you can and cannot do. Gives you the it gives you numbers and all the contact information that you need if you ever have a question. I will say, when you are creating promotional items for your club, if you are using them just for club members, you can use a local vendor. But if you are using promotional items to sell out into the public, then you need a licensed vendor for that. Okay. And the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the Learning Center. And I don't know if you've heard about it, but it is something new to myrotary.org. The Learning Center would be a helpful tool for those who are new to public image, or even if you have somebody new as a committee chair in your club and they're kind of at a loss at what to do. This is so helpful, and I encourage you. I have done many of these just as a refresher, so I won't forget what all about Rotary pretty much. So that is under your learning and reference. You can go on to Learning Center. It didn't work earlier, so hopefully it'll go through today. It's definitely thinking hard about it. And be patient. There's a lot of information on this website. So here you go. The Learning Center is a great tool to provide opportunities about your Rotary Club and district roles, as well as their impact on your community. You can find resources and tools that support members in their club roles, including president, treasurer, secretary, and club committees like public image. You can learn by topics like membership, fundraising, projects, and even Rotary.org, where you will find the Learning Center and Member Center. So I would take advantage of a wealth of training materials designed to help you learn new skills and become more successful in what you do. And look, there's public image right there. And if we have anybody on here that's doing public service or doing service projects for their clubs, this is also a great tool. Like I said, it is easy to follow. They're not long tutorials. They're probably about sometimes 15 to 20 minutes, maybe even less. And there is cute little quizzes at the end to see what you have retained. That is the end of my presentation. Hopefully it'll lead right into Leslie's.
Thank you so much, Amber. So we just learned a lot about Brand Center and making sure that we're using the right logos and we're using the correct colors and all of the things Rotary. So now we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk about a program that's available online called Canva. This is a great program, and we'll get into more depth in this. This is a great program to create all kinds of content, not just Facebook and other social media platforms, but any and everything that you need for your club, you can create within Canva. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly and get my presentation pulled up here. So let's get into it. What we're going to talk about in this section of this presentation is what is Canva, just some basics about the Canva program, creating a brand kit for Rotary within Canva. We're going to talk about some statistics for Facebook as well as some algorithm tips. So as you're using Facebook for your Rotary Club, some things that you need to know. I'm going to talk about creating content for Facebook as well as other platforms, social media platforms, and other things. And then we're going to do a tutorial. We're going to walk through Canva and I'm going to show you how to make some basic items. So what is Canva? You can go to Canva at canva.com, and it is a graphic design platform to create all the things. If your club needs a flyer, this is a great place to go to create a flyer, or letters, presentations, all of the Facebook content, YouTube, thumbnails, newsletters. This presentation that I'm doing here was created in Canva, and everything that I'm going to show you, a lot of things that you have seen. Our informer is created in Canva. A lot of things that we post on our district Facebook page is created in Canva. So we highly recommend it. It is free. There is a free subscription to Canva, but there are also two paid versions, Canva Pro and Canva for Enterprise. And I highly, highly recommend Canva Pro. That's what I have. And it just opens up a lot more opportunities within Canva. So some basics about Canva. Obviously, first things first is that you need to create an account. It's super easy. And you can start out with the free version just to see if it's something that you think you're going to use for your club. And if it is, then, then you can pay for the monthly subscription. And it's very affordable. I think it's about $12 a month. And you can get in there and take a look at that and see if it's something you would like to do. So once you create an account within Canva, you have access to hundreds, this says thousands, so they say thousands of templates. And this is where you just find something that you like, you click on it, and You drag and drop and you update. So it makes creating content very, very easy. And then if you decide to have the Canva Pro, you're able to create that brand kit. And this makes all of your fonts, your logos, and your colors all come together. And it makes it very easy to create content because you're not always having to search for the right color, making sure you're using the correct fonts, making sure that you have all the logos in one place. Brand Kit does that for you. So whenever you create a brand kit within Rotary, you can upload all your logos. Rotary International asks us to use these 3 fonts: Open Sans, Arial, and Georgia. So while Canva has Open Sans, they do not have Arial and Georgia. So I have put in parentheses the 2 that most closely mimic those 2 fonts. And then you can put in the colors, our 4 main colors of Rotary: Azure, Sky Blue, Royal Blue, and Gold. I've also put the numbers there, and that will give you that exact color within Canva, within the brand kit. So this is what it looks like, and we'll look through this in just a few minutes live on the actual site, but this is what a brand kit looks like. So you can see we have all the Rotary logos there, including the Empolio Now and the Rotary Foundation, as well as the theme logo. Once the new year rolls over, I'll go ahead and switch off that theme logo and add the new theme logo. You can see I've got all of the different colored logos, the white as well as the gold and the blue, black. And then you can see our brand colors down there on the left, our 4 main ones, and then our 4 secondary colors, and then our brand fonts. And this is so easy to change and update. You can see the plus signs there, and it's so easy to do. We'll walk through that in a few moments. So a quick statistic about Facebook, couple quick statistics. And we encourage all clubs to have a Facebook page just because it is an easy way to share content about your club and about upcoming speakers and service projects. So Facebook has currently 2.74 billion monthly active users, and it is the 3rd most visited website. So while Facebook, the use of Facebook declined in 2019, it started to increase again in 2020 and the beginning part of 2021. I'm sure because of the pandemic, we're home more, and so we are on social media. So Facebook is an excellent way to get your message and your story out. So Facebook recently changed their algorithm, and this means how often people see the things that you post. So they have changed how they do this. So, and you all know this, you get on Facebook and you don't see every single post that every single person puts out there. Some things to help get your post at the top and making sure that your audience sees your Facebook post. Number 1 is replying to your audience. So whenever you make a post on Facebook for your club, whether it's a service project or maybe it's a speaker and someone comments on that, reply back to them. It could be as easy or as simple as a smiley face or a thank you for commenting or something very simple. But the more that you reply to your audience, that will help prioritize your post because that user has interacted with the post, you have interacted back, so that will help them see your post more often. The second tip is to get your audience replying to each other. So if you post, and let's say I log in and I see the post, and then maybe I put my phone down and I don't log back into Facebook for another hour. When I log back into Facebook, if my friends have been commenting on that post, I will see that post again because Facebook, having a lot of conversation, it triggers the algorithm for people to see that post again. So if, let's say, someone comments on your post, you can reply with a question, so that triggers someone to comment back. Or when you create a post, give your audience an action. comment below your favorite blank, you know, something to go along with your post. So you're getting that conversation going. The third tip that I have is go for love and those other emotional reactions. So, you know, there's love, care, anger, which I don't think that we necessarily want on our post, but the algorithm weighs those reaction buttons more heavily than just the simple like. So, you know, whenever you post, if you put in your comment something about love this post or something like that, it will trigger people to do an emotional reaction instead of just a like. Have is post when your audience is online. And you can find this if you're the administrator of your club's Facebook page. You can find that in the insights, and you'll be able to see when your audience is most online. Everything that we've looked at for our district and for my club, we see our audience online at lunchtime and in the afternoons after work. So those are the best times for us to post. So all of this content here that you see was created in Canva. All of these, I'm pretty sure all these, yep. We have posted either on the district Facebook page or a club's Facebook page. And they are everything from posts asking people to join Rotary, upcoming speakers, motivational quotes, the monthly themes, holidays. You can make just about anything within Canva. And I'm going to walk through a tutorial here in just a moment. I just wanted to give you a visual of all the different things that you can create within Canva. Other content that you can design outside of just social media posts include presentations. Like I said, I created this presentation within Canva. Something else that we've used in the district, we've used Canva for creating YouTube thumbnails. It just makes your YouTube look a little more professional. And then newsletters, you can use this at the club level, and we use it at the district level for our informer. So let's do a quick tutorial. And I see we've got several things in the chat. Yes, we will send out a PDF of the slides so that everybody can see that. And also a recording of this session will be available on YouTube. So let me share my screen again. And
so Leslie, this is Kathy. We'll post the slides on the training page on the district website that's found under the resource tab. So all those will be posted, as well as the recording of this session.
Okay, so this is Canva. And like I said, canva.com. This is once you create an account and you log in, this is what you see. And I'm just going to quickly go through creating a Facebook post so you all can see how easy it is, because I know when you log in and you see all of this, it may feel very overwhelming, and I don't want you all to feel overwhelmed, because really once you get into it and you play with it, it's really simple. So as you can see here, there are two ways that you can look for what you want. You can go here and type in Facebook, and you can click Facebook post, or you can go here and it's going to give you a ton of options. So we're just going to click Facebook post. The beauty of Canva is that it already sizes the items to what you're creating, and you don't have to think about making sure that it's the appropriate size. So very easily you start with a simple white, and you can go over here and scroll through the templates until you find one that you like. We're going to go with this one. This one has nothing to do with Rotary, but we're going to make it be about Rotary. And this is even one of the things within Canva. They have small videos, which I've used in the past, but we're not going to use this one, so we're just going to delete it. Obviously, this yellow is not Rotary Gold, but as you can see, I've got the Rotary brand in here. So I'm going to change it to Rotary Gold. Click on this. You can say join Rotary. You could say find a club. And we can put our website here. You can make this larger if you would like to. If we want to, let's say maybe white would look better. We can very easily change our colors. And then we need an image because this is pretty bland. So over on the left-hand side, you can see here that we are in our templates. If you go to elements, this is where you can find graphics, shapes, photos. You can type in anything in here. Let's say that we didn't have a picture that we wanted to use from our club. You could type in group of people, and you're going to get a ton of options. So you can scroll through and pick a picture. If you wanted to use something like that, and I'll show you how to size it in just a moment. Or if you have your own image that you want to use, you can click upload media and upload the media that you want to use. I have several Rotary pictures here that we are going to use. I downloaded this picture straight from the RI website. So I'm going to resize this, and then I'm going to send it to the back. I want this to be up a little bit, so I'm just going to continue resizing until I get it how I want it. Like so. We've got an action photo to go right along with our join us here, and this needs a logo because right now we just have words. So I'm going to go over here to logos, and that's where my brand kit is. So you can see all of our logos are here. Since we did white here, I would do the white Rotary logo, because if we do the colored logo, the gold wheel wouldn't show up. We could put that here. We could put that here. Lots of options. And there you go. So you just go up to the top here and you click download, and you want to download it as a PNG. So very, very simple. We created a Facebook post in probably a minute, 2 minutes tops. So I'm going to go back to my homepage and show you, this is where your brand kit is. This is just the screenshot that I shared with you earlier. But just so you can see how easy it is, you just click the plus and you can upload an image. If you wanted to change your fonts, you can do that here. If you wanted to add a color, you can do that here. And deleting a color is just as easy. So don't feel overwhelmed with Canva. There is a lot in it. As you can see, I'm going to scroll through here. I use Canva for work, but I use it a lot for Rotary. I have all my Rotary items. You can make folders. So if you wanted to use it for your club, or if you wanted to use it personally, you can create your folders so they dump in there. And that way you can see presentations, thumbnails, banners, certificates, all kinds of things are able to be created within Canva. So I know that was very fast to go through Canva and to talk about Facebook and all of the things, but I really wanted to open it up for you all to ask questions, or if there was something that you saw within Canva or within the brand center that maybe you didn't understand, or maybe you had a question about or how to do it, that we would have an opportunity to talk through that with you all and to show you tips and tricks that we know along the way.
Mike has a question.
Yes, thank you for this. Thank you very much. And it appears that you've had some experience with this. And I'm wondering, what have you had the most response to, particularly as it relates to recruiting membership inquiry?
Sure. So you may or may not be aware, but our district just conducted a membership campaign where we did a series of Facebook posts, and we did newspaper ads, we did radio ads. So we have received very, very good response to our Facebook posts and our newspaper ads. And all of our Facebook posts and all of our newspaper ads were created within Canva. And have a presentation and I don't have it pulled up, but I could give you numbers, but we've received, our reach has been, Amber, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah, I'm looking.
it's been tens of thousands of people that we've reached just on Facebook that have actually seen our ads. Do you have it, Amber?
I do. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
So that we went through Facebook. This was our first ad that we created. We did a test run just to see kind of what Facebook would do for us. These were sponsored posts. We created the ad, put it out there. You can see our reach was just over 2,300. We had 23 website clicks. So we linked our website. So we had 23 people actually click on that. And then that was our second one. We had 113 website clicks. The next one, 107. The next one, 145. The fifth one, 99. The sixth one, 149. And the seventh one, we had 100 and some Ambers. And when that one finished, I can't remember the exact amount on that one. And then this was our print ad that we did. We did it all across the district. We had really good response to that. And then our results, you can see this is about a month behind. We've had 9 Rotary International membership interest forms completed. That means that they went to rotary.org and filled out the interested in Rotary form. We created our own form on our district website. So if they happen to come to the district website, we didn't want them to click a bunch of times more to fill out a form and us get their contact information. We've had 8 of those now. And as you can see, our Facebook reach is over 75,000 at this point. And we've had about 750 website clicks from the ads. Yes, Frank.
Comparing the cost of producing the print versus the Facebook campaign.
Okay, so Facebook campaigns, our budget, we spent $150 up to $250. Most of them were around the $175 range. So as you can see, our reach and our website clicks were pretty good for those amounts of money we spent. With Facebook, you can spend $10 and get a good reach. We did our campaigns depending on the post. We did certain age groups and certain genders. So we wanted the post to look like the audience that we were targeting. So when we did the Facebook post with the young ladies on it, we targeted younger females as our audience in that ad. And so we did that all throughout. The last one that we did, we opened it up to ages, I think 20 to 65 plus, and we did all genders and just kind of opened it wide up to, see what kind of reaction we would get. So Facebook, you get a lot of bang for your buck and you can target your audience. And we just targeted the people from Greenville, Tennessee to Winchester, Virginia.
And she keeps saying we because we realized that public image and membership go hand in hand. So I would encourage you to work with your membership chair also. I think that would be beneficial to team up together and help each other out.
So Cian asked, what are the first 2 most frequently visited media? It depends on your audience because you have some demographics that they don't use social media. So it really depends on your demographic. So if you are targeting a younger demographic, you're going to want to look at your social media platforms. And that's not to say to only use one media. That's why we used a mix: social media, print, radio. I would suggest even TV, because if you're wanting a certain demographic, TV advertisements are great, and there are PSA opportunities on the RI website as well as some that we've done in the district. So it really depends on your audience.
So I'm backing up into the beginning of your presentation when you said Facebook was number 3. So I was just wondering what numbers 1 and 2 were.
So that is the most visited websites just total. So not even social media platforms. As far as social media platforms, Facebook is the most visited social media platform.
And
Your
on
other
brand,
website is probably like Google, and I'm not sure what the other one is.
and when you're in Brand Center, like I was telling you about the guides that you can find under guidelines, when you're getting started with your, your quick start guide to social media, it'll also explain to you in there how to attract your audience, because every club is different. We are not all one and the same. And so you have to really think about like your community and your business partners and who you would like to attract to your club.
And some of the great things to remember whenever if you decide to do ads for your club, whether that be a Join Rotary ad, or maybe you just want to do a feel good, we follow the 4-way test, come join us, something like that. Most of your media outlets, whether that is TV, radio, or print, will offer some sort of discount because you are a nonprofit. Whenever we started doing the ads, I didn't have to submit any paperwork showing that we were a nonprofit or a 501c3 or anything like that. They knew, obviously, because we're Rotary, that we're a nonprofit. So you're going to get those discounts. Radio will do PSAs, and so will TV. Now, you're not going to get prime times, but you will start getting the word out. So those are good platforms for free advertising.
Leslie, is Canva an online design program, or is it a program you download?
It is an online design platform. So you can just go to canva.com, create an account, and you have access to so much. And I remember, I've been using Canva for several years, but I remember coming across Canva at the very beginning and being overwhelmed, even though that's my background, design, and I've used Photoshop for a very long time. There's so much. So go into it with an idea of what you want to create, whether that is a Facebook post or a newsletter or a flyer or a card. We've done cards to members who we've not seen in a while. We've created a card within Canva and sent them a card saying, hey, we miss you. So lots of things to do in Canva, but just don't get overwhelmed. And we're always here if you have questions. And we're happy to, something that may take you 20 minutes to find, if you'll just shoot me a quick email, I can point you in the right direction pretty quickly.
Mike Lewis says Canva Pro is available free for nonprofits.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And that was a question.
Oh, I think
I don't know. Bummer.
Then she was probably going to say it's maybe a question that we've received in the past.
Yes.
But yes, Canva Pro is free for nonprofits. Thank you, Mike, for reminding us of that.
And Canva will tell you what you need in order to get it for free.
Yep.
Is there any other questions or anything that we've left out? Or like Leslie said, anytime that you guys are stuck, don't hesitate to email us. We can help you out. We're here for you, and no question is dumb.
Yeah. And if there's something that you all would like for us to take a look at now, we have a few minutes. So yep, Frank, I see your hand up.
Well, based on what you've learned from this test that you've run, what's next?
So luckily we have the support of our current district governor and our incoming district governor, and they are supporting us with funds to be able to run another membership campaign after the first of the year. We've been working with a partner to do billboards across our district. So we're hoping that that's the next thing that we can do.
Nancy Whitlock?
What was that, Frank?
Is the Nancy Whitlock?
Yes, Nancy's the current governor, and then Tara Ellis is incoming.
Yeah, Nancy's in my club, so I like having that access.
Yes, she is. She has been an incredible supporter of Amber and I and all of our crazy ideas. to try to grow Rotary. So billboards are our next thing. And I think that we'll continue with the Facebook ads because we're seeing a good return on those, and another push in print, newspapers and magazines.
One last word. Looks exciting.
Did you say exciting?
Yes, exciting. If I'm still muted.
Yep.
Exciting is right. It looks exciting to me.
Thank you. I think it is. And I think Amber would agree that we've really tried to transform our public image over the past 4 or 5 years and really change how we portray ourselves in our district.
Good. So I have a question for you. Have you ever used Canva print?
So I have not, and that is an option. Amber, have you used it?
Yeah, but I have not used it for Rotary. Tim and I have used it for our business, and so we use it for everything. And one of our main things we do is with orders that we send out, we have an insert, and so we get it all through Canva print.
And how quickly do you get it?
Oh, it's very, very fast. So usually we will order 1,000 inserts at a time, and we usually get it within 2 to 3 business days.
Oh, that's great. Good.
And you can also do T-shirts and business cards, flyers, pamphlets. All the things that you can create in Brand Center, and you can also bring it over to Canva and have it printed there if you'd like.
But the reason I asked, I just made posters for my Rotary Club for an event we did, and because it was a big size, I had to go to Staples to get it printed out. And I thought, well, if I use Canva print, could I have gotten it in time? So thank you, I appreciate that.
Leslie, our club has used it, the print for thank you notes, and we just used we made a logo that had our Rotary Club name on it. And then we also used it to make a birthday card. We just did a happy birthday, and it had balloons with the Rotary logo. And we send it to either our members for a happy birthday, or just a thank you if it's for a guest speaker. And the return was quick, and the quality of paper was nice.
Great. Thank you. You all have triggered. I'm going to print the agendas for Tara's installation. And so I may use that instead of just doing it myself.
Good.
Yeah. Something, Amber, that you said triggered this thought too. If you have events, you want to create things that you can have there that bring recognition to who you are and what you're doing. Within Canva, you can create big posters. You can create images for the stand-up banners that you can purchase, whether through Vistaprint or another vendor. You can create your design within Canva and then pull that over to make it look really nice. So, in all those things that you think about designing, you can do within Canva.
And another thing you could do is create it in Canva and import it into paperless posts if you're sending evites, which makes it look really nice and personable.
Yep.
So a question for both Leslie and Amber. If you're going to do a Rotary presentation, I know there are templates on Brand Center, and you also could do templates on Canva. Which is your personal preference?
Canva.
Canva.
And why?
I've used Google Slides and other presentation platforms, and it just seems, for me, Canva seems easier to edit. Wouldn't you agree, Leslie?
Yes.
It just seems easier and faster.
And you're going to get a lot more options within Canva, whether that's graphics or video movement. Different fonts. You're just going to have a lot of options within Canva to create your presentations. And the presentation that I gave today, I selected a template. It gives you a template of 12 slides, and then you just pick which slide you want to use and you edit the content. and it's super easy. You're not having to come up with things yourself. It's there already. And you just update the graphics and the text. And it just looks really clean and really nice. You can present from Canva. So if you're doing a presentation, you can click present and actually present from Canva. Or what I like to do, because I am always scared that the internet's not going to work exactly like I want it to, I will download it and then put those images within PowerPoint, which is what I presented from today.
Yeah,
And then
that's
I
nice.
presented from Canva today.
Can you save it as a PowerPoint in Canva, or do you have to download the images?
You can download the images or download the PDFs. I download the images and it puts it in a folder, and then you can import the entire folder and it will put one image per slide and you're done. It does it all for you.
Great, thank you.
And your day job is what?
I'm the public relations and communications manager at our local power company.
I'm an industrial engineer.
I see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can brand kits be shared between different users?
Yeah. So if you have the paid version, there are some things that you can share with the free version, but if you have a paid version, you can create a team. So, and you can add users to your team, and then you all have access to everything together, which includes your brand kits. It includes any content that you're creating. I have a friend and we work a lot together on just checking each other's work. Pretty much, we don't work at the same business, but she does a lot of the same things that I do. So we're on a team together. She can see all my stuff. I can see all of her stuff, just to make sure, you know, things are spelled correctly or, you know, things look nice. You always want to have an extra set of eyes. But if you have several people in your club that are going to be on Canva and designing things, you can create a team and you have access to everything.
What does the upgraded version cost if you have to buy it outright? Do you know?
I think it's like $12 or $13 a month for the Canva Pro, which opens up more fonts, more images, more templates. You can create the brand kit, you can create teams, you can share things differently. There's just way more options.
And does the district have the Canva Pro license?
Not that I'm aware of. I have my own. Amber has her own.
And I use our business one, so.
And I use my business one. So,
So something we should think about for the district. And then we could set up teams or committees within the district.
Yeah.
Ladies, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Very, very valuable info. And our ability to adopt some of the things that you're doing and learn from what you're doing adds tremendous value for the clubs throughout the district, I do believe. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. We appreciate you recognizing the value, and we hope that our hard work does not go unnoticed, because we've really worked hard over the past 4 or 5 years to do a lot of great things. So thank you for that.
Well, ladies, I'm one of those old retired white guys that comes from the direct marketing industry.
Okay.
And work for mail order catalogs and so forth. So I have some insight into what you're doing and the value of it. And the impact that it can have on our membership can be dramatic.
Yeah. Sure can.
Appreciate that, Frank. Thank you.
Thanks.
Everybody for being here today.
Yeah.
Amber, Leslie, thank you so much. This has just been fantastic. And I'm looking at the comments in the chat. Everybody else thinks so too. So thank you. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
Welcome.